Do this shit until they murder me.
Alright everyone, welcome back to another Black Desert video. My name is Xenosatch. In today's video we're going to be covering two topics that probably most of you are going to be interested in. If you are starting to get more used to the game, you've already passed the first quarter of the content, and you can tell how far you are depending on how far you have actually managed to get into the story. These are pretty much all the main quests up until the Sylvia update that I was talking about. On this character, again, I have not progressed far enough. You won't have to do everything. Some of the quests does actually split off, but for the most part, this is where you are going to follow along. And if you ever want to know how far along you are in the main quest, you simply click on a tab, and you should see 8 out of 8 steps. I am on the first one. I gotta continue going through as much as possible. And if you ever have a section where you have no quest accepted, you can always right bumper over to the main quest, the first one, and it goes in order. You won't have to do every step of the quest, but you do have to do most of them. As again, there are some branching storylines in this that you are able to access, and that depends on how far or which quest you decide on choosing. So let's go over a couple things in this video. Number one we're going to cover is enhancement. Enhancement is one of the trickier things in the game. As you can see, a lot of my gear here has a 1 in it or a 2. Now there's difference between this, and we have a +3 here. Tier. This is a try, and there's different levels of enhancement that you can go through. As you can see, we're going to go over here to the main weapons. We're just going to click on the longsword, that is for the warrior class. Click on Kriya and you will see. Currently there are 20 levels of enhancement. The first levels will actually show you a +1 through +15 is what it will actually show you in the icon of the weapon. After you go from +15, it goes 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. These actually change and they have unique names. Read change to Pry, Duo, Try, Tet, and Pen. So whenever you see the +1, or not the +1 through 15, those are referring to, again, the level of your weapon. But when someone says, well, I have a Roman numeral 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, then you're understanding that they are +16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. These are the Pen is currently the highest you can go to, and I'm pretty sure that's the highest it's going to remain. And depending on the grade of gear, you can also get gear. Your standard green gear has a max depending on the specific item or specific weapon you have. Some gear will actually have a higher threshold in attack, but for the most part, your green gear can vary in levels. Your blue gear will be is kind of a mid-tier between green and gold. You can get these from world bosses or even area bosses. So that would be something like this, the field boss here, red nose and stuff. And you actually do get notifications for field bosses in-game when you're playing. They're going to be a little bit off. I've only seen once where it's actually landed on the exact same spawn as the world boss. You can either obtain the Laverdo items, which is your blue tier gear from world bosses or field bosses, depending on if you manage to do enough damage to suffice the requirement for that gear, and it drops for you. There are currently a handful of field bosses that you can challenge. These, although are not on the same level where it requires the entire or most of the server to go to the boss, field bosses still do have quite a significant amount of health, and trying to damage them is going to be quite a challenge, so I don't recommend doing them unless you're leveled gear for it. Gold, again, will be the highest one, which, again, it still has the exact same thing. Now, leveling up and enhancing throughout the all the way from from +1 to +20, or the pen, will also differ in percentage chance when going all the way, and the difficulty for the gear also reflects. So if you have a gold gear, it's going to be significantly harder than trying to level up a clear gear or a green gear. Trying to get that to level up to the next level. Currently, I have a boss drop that I'm trying to level up to +15 on my other character and drop the durability on it. Simply put, it takes quite a bit. Now, how do you achieve this? You will need first to make sure that your item can actually be enhanced. And if you don't understand what I mean by this, let's go over to the longsword again. If you press details, you will see that underneath the name and attack, that first line says enhancement type flexible, meaning that this item can actually level up or be enhanced into the next level, +1, +2, +3, and so on and so forth. And that means that you can then use that. However, we also have something like the Ultimate Stid Longsword, as well as the Stid Weapons and Ultimate Stid Weapons are some of the weapons that unfortunately you cannot level up, but they do come with a significant high accuracy and pretty decent level attack. Ornella weapons, I want to say, are kind of like this as well. I think that's between the 35 to 42 range is what the Ornella. And the Ornella you can purchase from any from the arms vendors that are in cities and towns. Depending, some of them sell different gears depending to that city. Again, trying to level some of these up, whether that be green gear, blue gear, or gold gear, there's different percentage chance. So you would simply go and ensure that you have. First, we're gonna. I wonder if I level this up. Get my Blackstones. Depending on what you're going to level up, you either have your Blackstone weapons or Blackstone armor. I'm going to take out 7, 4, and 5 Blackstone armor. I'm going to pull out this gear, and do not have a. Oh, I do. I'll pull out one of these. Okay. Simply put, it doesn't matter what class you have. If it can be enhanced, it's in your inventory. You want to enhance your gear, press down on the D-pad, and that summons the Black Spirit. You can see that he gives you a tab for enhancement specifically. Transfusions, where you can place magical crystals obtained. You see a bunch of magical crystals in the central market that I have. Or item reform, which can then increase the grade of your weapon. Some weapons have a grade chance increase. You can make them into their ultimate form, or some of them can be enhanced from green to blue. Ultimate reform would change it from any level green or blue to gold. And it does give it some special stats, but we're talking about enhancement here, so we're going to click on enhancement. Now, it does the guide on the left. You can see it does give you some indications of what you can do. Please read these tips that it gives you. It does tell you weapons can be safely enhanced to +7. Defense gear can be safely enhanced to +5. Simply put, if I wanted to level up this, simply tap on that weapon, it puts it in the first tab. Then ensure that you have the correct Blackstone. If you have a weapon, you put a weapon. I picked up 2 weapons, but you would take the armor and put it in armor. From 1 to +15, you will need Blackstones normally. If you wanted to do, let's say, this armor here, we're gonna go here. It no longer requires just normal Blackstones. These require concentrated Blackstones, which you can either purchase off the market and purchase or make them yourselves if you have the correct hard crystals that you can combine. Again, we're going to talk about this percentage here. Now, the percentage chance is referring to the percentage that will actually take you to enhance from one level to the next. Anywhere from between +1 to +15, or +8 to +15, or +15 Any any level after +7 to +20 or pen will give you a certain percentage chance to level up to the next gear. And this is why I say these are some of the more difficult things, because in order to level up that gear, you have to have, again, enough blackstones, as well as enough percentage chance to actually increase. So again, going off of, we'll use this as an example. I'll be able to claim back the stone. So we're going to click on the blackstone. Now this is the normal enhancement. It does a little animation right there. It does take a little bit, but regardless, it's automatically going to do to +7. So simply skip animation. You can continue doing it all the way to +7. And now you see that I do not have any more stones, but you see the enhancement rate now actually shows. From anywhere to +1 to +7, it's always, or for weapons, it'll always give you a 100% chance with a blackstone. You use it, it's perfectly set. There's two ways to level this up continuously. You can either choose to force enhance the weapon, or you can risk your chance with RNG and give up to the enhancement rate that you put another blackstone in. It has a chance to either go up to the next level, or it has a chance to fail and decrease durability. So we're gonna go here, grab one more blackstone. I can put these ones back. Not gonna use those. Those are that blue gear is really expensive. So let's get one more weapon stone. So again, we have a +7. Now, when you click this, this is an RNG. It does take a little bit. It might not. It can with a 70% chance. It might just say failed to do. When it fails, it will decrease the durability up until +15 with normal blackstones. If you fail, you create a fail stack. We'll go into this in a little bit. But if you succeed, it goes to the next level. Now, as you see, it goes to the next level. That enhancement rate now decreases from 70%. From +8 to go up, it goes down to 40.82%. That is still relatively high for some gear, but it is going down. The higher you go in enhancement, the further down the enhancement rate actually goes. To the point where if I wanted to level up something like my Kazark Axe, you see that the green gear to go from +8 to +9 is a 40% chance. My Kazark Axe, which is a pry, to go to a duo with the concentrated is only 7.69 with a 0% enhancement chance. Now what you do in order to actually increase your enhancement chance is simply fail stack. Meaning, fail stack is the term given when you are purposefully stacking failed enhancement chances on that character. And every character has their own. You are purposely trying to fail to increase the percentage of that fail stack. Simply put, I backed out for some reason. Simply put, the enhancement chance up on the top is what you're trying to increase. Every time you purposely fail, it goes +1, +2, +3. It increases back the chance for your gear to level up successfully. I'm trying not to burn through too many of my crystals as I'm pretty low. Now let's say you had some of the... I'm going to show you one of the easiest towns, and the reason that Velia is one of the easiest towns to show this in is Velia sells some of the cheapest armor in the game that people use to normally fail stack, which is the Reblath sets. Now people normally buy the Reblath helmet, the gloves, the armor, or the shoes. I tend to buy the gloves and continuously level them. The purpose of it is simple. You want to fail. You want to fail, so you add another chance so that the gear that you want to level up to the higher level has an increased chance. As you can see here, I have 3 plus 14 gear. You see that this has 75 out of 75 for the durability. It can have a max of 100. The other ones do. This means that this is the highest this gear can go. It can go to plus 15. It can go even higher than that up into the concentrated area, where it decreases by 10, but you're doing the fail stack. Simply put, you're intentionally trying to fail. Let me see if I can show this. We'll do that one. I'll grab an armor stone quick from the central market. You're intentionally doing it so that your percentage again increases for the higher tier gear. Now, just because it increases doesn't mean it'll increase by a lot. So I just need 1 stone for the armor. I saw another berserker beside me, which is very rare. So what we're going to do is pull out this. Now you see plus 14 only has a 2% chance, and if it fails it goes down by another 5. The lowest your armor should get with normal fail stacking is 20. At 20 is the normal cap off when you're doing safe enhancements, or if you're attempting safe enhancement. If you do a force enhancement, you can see that the requirement for it goes down significantly. It consumes 29 blackstones and will decrease the durability of that weapon or armor all the way down to 0, which you will have to use another same tier name or memory fragments in order to restore that. So I am purposely trying to fail, and you can see the percentage chance again is 2. So we hit X. It purposely goes that. What people do with this is now you see that the enhancement rate went from 2 to 2.2, meaning the chances of me succeeding on my next enhancement has now increased, and this will apply for any of your other gear. Typically it's the cheapest place to go, so most people will come all the way back to Velia to do their fail stacks, because again, the reblath stuff is significantly cheap compared to most of the gear. If I had to go back and purchase a Xerath shoes or a Kazarka axe, Kazarka axe is expensive. Most of your gold tier weapons are expensive too, if your durability decreases, so be careful with that. But we're going to show you. So we see that our durability for this weapon is 70 out of 70. How do you restore the durability? Simple. You go to the shop, or you go to the central market, wherever you have to. You buy the same level of, or the same named item. You go to your blacksmith or someone that can do repairs. You go to recover max durability. Now, click on the item that you want to recover its durability. As you can see, 70 out of 70. If you want to increase, again, to recover max durability, it tells you up top, the amount of restored max durability will increase when the item's rank is lower. The materials that will be destroyed after use, so after you use these to recover that one, they're used, and the equipment of the same grade can be used as an ingredient to restore maximum durability. First select the gear you want to restore, and then select the restoration materials. So again, reblath gloves, standard reblath gloves, and you recover, for the same name, same grade of weapon, it will go up by plus 10. So hit X. Oh, sorry. Tap that. Go to the left, hit X, it recovers by 10. Now, if it's the same grade or the exact same weapon, in this case I'm using a reblath with a reblath, what it's going to do, it recovers 10. Simply put, it goes from 70 to 80. I still have to repair the gear because now the health of the gear is down, not the durability. But we have the option to continuously do it. We're going to restore the rest of it all the way back to 100, and that's that. Now the gear can be put in the central market, or well, reblath cannot, but it can be put it can be used to, again, continuously fail stack. Again, the reason people mostly use this is because they want to fail stack intentionally. Reblath is the cheapest to repurchase. It will only cost me 60 to put the health. You do not have to put the health up. As long as the durability is max, you're fine. And equip this back. You can see my attack has gone back up. So now, if I were to click back on my, Rahagan, I still getting that Ragan. I really don't know how to say that, but we click back on the armor piece that I wanted to level up. You can see that the percentage has gone from 40. What was it? I think it was a 40% chance to 44.9, or if it went from 42 to 44.9. It has increased slightly. Now you can keep doing fail stacks by purposely failing again with a lower item. Purposely failing, that will give you the fail stack. It increases it even further. Typically, you can take again your weapon down all the way from 100 durability to 20, so you can at least get, for every 5, you can get, what is that, 16 plus 16 in enhancement chance from one reblath glove. I believe that's correct. Plus 16 to some of the higher tier gear will not show a lot of percentage chance. At the end of the day, enhancement will come down to RNG, whether or not that enhancement succeeds or ends up failing. If it fails on higher tier gear and let's say I failed on my boss gear, I can show you this if it'll actually show me my other weapon in Altinova. So this is my Kazarka crossbow. The durability for this weapon is actually significantly less. It's actually all the way down to 20. And I have quite a bit of fail stacks for that. But the durability goes down. In order to restore the durability from weapons of higher tier gear, there's 2 ways you can do it. Let's say I failed on my Zereth armor. On my Zereth armor, I would have to come back, go to Zereth armor, and buy a base level gear. You can see that the base level gear will cost 127,000 on the market, and registered. Some of the gear you can purchase from the vendors in town, but keep in mind that the markets for town vendors, for arms vendors, tend to fluctuate depending on the purchase price people have been spending on it. I've seen a base level Zereth armor or not even just Zereth Grinnell armor, for 400 or 500,000 in just a normal vendor. Well, on the market, if you can grind it out as a monster drop, you can sell it on the market. It's 127,000 cheaper. If I were to lose 10 points off or 5 off my fail stack for leveling up a Zereth armor, I can come purchase a base level gear. You can only do it with base level gear. Grab your base level gear, use that. It will restore. If it's the same tier, same grade, it will restore by plus 10. Now let's say for my Kazarka weapon again, that I have actually, unfortunately, screwed up in restoring the tier. Well, here you go. This is an easy chart for you. You can buy memory fragments. Now, memory fragments works as a substitute for restoring the grade for your gear. Simply put, it can fill in the void if you do not have if you cannot afford to, like with boss gear, because it's a boss drop. I do not have the money to go and purchase another boss drop, which is in some cases 100 million silver. So what I can do instead is purchase memory fragments, and a memory fragment will substitute depending on the grade of gear. If it's a white gear, it will recover by 10. If it's a green gear, I can use 1 fragment to recover 5 points of durability. If it's a blue gear, it will recover 2 points of durability, and if it's in a yellow gear, which is the only time I recommend using gold gear or using memory fragments, gold gear, it will only restore 1. There is a way to increase this significantly when you're using memory fragments, and that is unfortunately the pay to win item. I won't say it's pay to win. No, it definitely is pay to win, which is called the artisan memory. I managed to get a couple from one of the daily logins. Was it a daily login or was it the? I think it was a daily login, and it was an event item drop. I got like a bundle of 5, and simply put, an artisan memory will basically increase the chance of when restoring. It will increase the amount of uh, of recovery for that item by 4. So when it says 1, adding an artisan memory will then increase it to plus. It times it by 4. So instead of recovering 1 for yellow gear, it will recover it for 4. For white, it would recover 40. For green gear, it would recover 20 for every 1. So on and so forth. It recovers it. It increases it by 4 times the amount of what the original item is. So it is insane, and here you go. You can see concentrated armor and concentrated weapons. These are a bit more expensive than your standard. I say a bit more, relatively loose, as well as the crystals that you can use. Now, if you do not want to pay for these concentrated items, you can simply make them yourselves. Simply use the processing menu by doing the armor crystal, which is the hard black crystal. You take 1 hard black crystal and 2 normal blackstone weapons, or sorry, 2 normal blackstone armor, which is significantly cheaper than the 3 million. You can then combine them and make 1 stone. You can do the same thing again for the sharp crystals for concentrated blackstone weapons, and you can then increase the weapon and get these. It's a lot cheaper. Sharp weapon stones is currently one of the higher prices because, again, a lot of people are doing weapon enhancement and kind of forgoing armor. I don't recommend it. Try to have it in at least even level with it should be good. The other thing I was going to cover in this video will be worker nodes. However, I think I'm going to shuffle it over into another part. This way I don't make the video long. Enhancement is one of the most RNG based type of leveling in the game, but hopefully this guide itself will help you in doing enhancements. Again, most people come to Velia to do fail stacking because of the reblath armor. I myself have gotten up to plus 25 in fail stacking by just doing reblath, but that is because my RNG was very fortunate in that the gear I was using, the multiple reblath gloves I was using just to get the fail stacks didn't upgrade. If you for some reason forget and the gear actually goes to plus 15 while you're doing a fail stack, let's say, again, because it takes a while to get that gear to plus 14. If this gear was to suddenly go to plus 15, you can simply go to the church. Before we cut off this video, I was going to end it. I honestly was. If for some reason your gear that you were leveling up goes from plus 14 to plus 15, you can take it higher, or if you want to bring down the gear so that you can use blackstones to do fail stacking and not concentrated, you can run over here to the church, use the priest, and cleanse gear. This will then take down the gear. Anything above plus 15 can basically be brought down 1 tier. For 100,000 silver, unfortunately you do lose the stone, and it will automatically drop. So from plus 15 to plus 14, you lose that. It costs 100,000 silver, you lose the stone that it is from plus 15, unfortunately. Or you can do it the other way, where a lot of people do. They have one alternate character that they do, that they have negative karma in. You can see My current karma is 66,380. They have a negative karma character, and what they do is when you have negative karma and you come into the cities, what's going to happen is the guards for the cities will actually chase, attack you, and kill you. And what happens when they kill you with a plus 15 gear is simple. Oh wow, game cities are so laggy right now. If they kill you when you're wearing a plus 15 gear, it's actually going to bring you back down into uh, it's going to degrade the gear from plus 15 to plus 14 for free, and it's going to kill the character. It degrades from plus 15 to plus 14, and you still receive that stone back. So some people do this when they, rather than spending 100,000, you go around, do a lot of PvP, your character is automatically going to get attacked when you go in the city, so you have to run around, grab the gear you wanted out the storage manager, put it on, have the guards kill you, come back, put it into the storage while they don't kill you again, get out the city, and change characters and continue your normal enhancing. So it is again, enhancements one of the most difficult things the higher you go up into gear. If you choose not to go to enhancement, I can recommend just purchasing the grade weapon off of the central market. Now you can buy the higher, you can forego it, sell all your blackstones, and sell all your stuff so you can get enough money to purchase any of the weapon that you want. But that does come at a significant price depending on the gear. Most of the people aim for boss gear. You can see that currently on the market for me, in order for me to get a Tri-Kazarka axe for the Berserker, it would cost me 520 million silver. That is significantly expensive, and it's going to be really hard to match. So I'd rather not, for the time being, save up, and good luck on your enhancement, everyone. And I will go over the other thing I wanted to discuss in the next video. Hopefully you guys are still sticking around, and the enhancement guide here was at least able to help you. Have a good night, everyone.